podcast setup, microphone, and all that good stuff. What's up, Oregon? Welcome to the Ozone, where real voices talk news, culture, and the random chaos that keeps life spicy. I'm Lee Spivey.
I'm Al Vernier.
This show's about cutting through the static. No corporate spin, no robotic headlines, just local people breaking down what matters from the Pentagon to your front porch. You ready?
Let's do it, man.
All right, personal story. Why the Ozone? Quick life update before we get heavy. I've been splitting time between studio sessions and job sites and getting everything prepared so that we can get this podcast launched. You know, as you all know, we're in a band together called The Flavor, and Alec is in a few other bands as well, launching his 6-string syndicate, so be on the lookout for that. Anything you want to say, Alec?
Man, first off, honor to play with you, Lee. It's been awesome. The new band is going really awesome. The Flavor has got a lot of flavor coming too.
I'm really digging it too.
Our live shows have been killer. We got so much energy.
Yeah.
It's so enticing just to keep going as hard as we can. I play with my father and his band for about 5 years now. I played with them since I was 16. I'm in
Pandora, right?
Yeah, Pandora.
The hardest
band.
working band in Southern Oregon. If you don't believe it, just go to a show, man. These guys are cooking.
We're busy. You can find us online there, the Pandora Band. We get around in Southern Oregon. If you guys like parties and events and music, hit us up. Other than that, I just played my last show with my band after 10 years, Dos Tacos Band.
Wow, yeah, so we got your 10-year in and called it rebranding, huh?
I think we're just hanging up the sombreros for now.
Okay.
So I think really with some of the financial stresses some of our bandmates are having and just how busy that the other two of us have gotten is...
I get it, man. It can be a burden.
Yeah, and there's just a lot for all of us. All of us in that band are in other bands.
Right.
And I think, we just last couple of years we've played less and less. And I think that we just we need to break. It's not that people ever quit doing it, you know what I mean?
No,
I just think
course.
right now it's time for a break.
But, that's kind of the point, right? Like, life gets messy. News gets messy. And that's where the Ozone comes in, right? I mean, that's why we're here. It's because we want a place for real talk, right? Musicians, builders, dreamers, all sitting down together, making sense of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I still look forward to continuing my musical journey. It's hard. It's like losing a relationship, kind of, or losing somebody.
Yeah.
You put a lot of love and effort and hard work, but just gotta look back at it and remember the experiences you have and keep that same drive that you initially had.
I truly wish I could say that I didn't experience that in my, band history, right? But that's happened a few times.
You did absolutely awesome opening up for us the other night, man. It sounded so good. I love it because some of those songs we play in The Flavor.
Yeah.
And just hearing that original hip hop version before we've kind of re-identified them to a full band.
Right.
It
takes you back to the roots.
The tempos change, some of the way lyrics are presented have changed, and going back to the roots of your hip hop music. I love the way you flow. I love the music that's been made for you. And shout out to our boy Jared.
Master producer. If you need beats or you're a musician, just look up Statement Beats online.
Beats. Some of the best I've heard from our region, honestly.
Absolutely. But when it comes to guitar playing as well, you really got the skill set to make the bacon, buddy.
Thank you,
man. And that's why you bring the flavor to
We're
the band.
surrounded by incredible artists here too.
But anyway, back to the Ozone podcast for a quick minute. So our main segment is something that happened a few weeks ago. We're going to talk about the Pentagon press lockdown. And why we're going to talk about that is because I'm a big proponent for freedom of press.
Yes.
And I think it is the one thing that keeps people in check around the world. Healthcare, politicians, big-headed musicians, big old companies that have lots of trillions of dollars that are making computer chips or some shit.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly. So the freedom of the press is what actually keeps everybody, in my opinion, locked into that pocket where, you want to get shady, we're going to call you out. You want to be a bad, evil individual, we're going to call you out.
You out.
You know what I mean? So that's why we're going to talk about the Pentagon press lockdown.
Yeah, that's honestly, man. When you first told me about that, when it happened that morning, I was myself was really uneducated in how much freedom the press did have inside the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just didn't know. So doing a little bit of research, and I dove in, and there's tons of different news sources out there to read from, but reading through some of it, you can get the gist of what's really happening here based off of your own personal opinions on things, but also just what's at the end of the day, I mean, you got all these different media networks that are no longer allowed to participate in a freedom that they had inside of somewhere where it's really important for all of us as citizens
to know what
to have some
doing.
kind of know.
That's
Whether
right.
it's presented to you in an offbeat manner or not, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still getting some kind of insight from telephone. There's always the telephone game.
Always
a
a telephone.
telephone.
So basically, they tighten the faucet, right, on what the public gets to know.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so now that there's fewer officials that can speak freely, every statement runs through new layers of clearance, right? So before it even makes it to the press, somebody's redacting it, somebody's changing the verbiage, somebody's doing this. So now the press doesn't have direct access to what's actually going on around the world.
It's like an ex-girlfriend asking for the password, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way you're getting to the press now.
Yeah, right. And they say that it's for national security, right? And you call it, some critics are calling it, information control, right? Now, I don't know if I agree with it being information control. That goes a little far. Like,
slippery setup.
Maybe in the past we've been given too many privileges to begin with, right? Do we really need to know what the war machine is doing? It does nothing but provide stress for the American people to see it on the news, hear it on the news. I get that information is good. We want to stay informed,
Absolutely.
Right? It's like we are in conflict with, period. That is information, right? Do we really need to know that we dropped 13 different missiles on a different country, see the devastation on the news? Maybe you could call me wanting to put my head in the sand a little bit,
Yeah.
but still, I do want to know if we're in conflict with another country or if I'm in danger somehow.
Yeah, we see, I think we've become, our generation got watching Facebook grow and social media and the smartphone era, we're definitely seeing a different, that kind of shit exposed to you in the past was, like when we see 9/11 happen on it, like, not to bring up any sour topics, but definitely like when that happened media-wise, I mean, every media company was covering this on a real level. And in that moment, those same media companies that represented it were in the Pentagon getting information.
Live news is never going to change, right?
Yeah.
But information flowing through the Pentagon really has more to do with, what we are about to try to accomplish as a country in our endeavors in foreign matters, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's really, where the pipeline is kind of shut down, right?
We got presented that stuff when something major was happening, though. Like I say, when 9/11 happened, like, a lot of shit was happening on news all over.
Yeah.
I mean, you would hear about it because you didn't have it at your fingertips so quickly. You either were paying attention to TV at the end of the day or you weren't, and you missed out till you got word of mouth.
Yeah.
Now we have it at our fingertips every morning, and the generations below us and generations below us will become more and more numb to the idea of it. I feel like even with our growth and growing into our age, that's something that we've become numb with. Like, yeah, we might not like it, but we have a different opinion on it.
Generation X, we are numb to the war machine.
Yeah,
right?
it's weird.
We've nothing but war. It's all we've known our entire lives,
insane.
right? And
Yeah, we're just, what's really funny is Veterans Day.
It's Veterans Day. Yeah, happy Veterans Day to everybody.
Happy Veterans Day.
I'm a veteran. My wife's a veteran. We both served
Talk
in the
about
Navy.
the war machine here on Veterans Day.
And we'll get into we'll do a whole 9/11 episode, but I'll tell you all my personal experiences about trying to get back onto the gate after it happened and all that good stuff. But we're not going to dive in that today. Today we're strictly.
You actually were in.
I was in during 9/11, so
Navy, right?
The Navy.
You're in the Navy, yeah.
Yeah,
that's definitely a story for a different time. I remember you telling me about that.
That's a story for a different time, So, and it goes right along with when people stop trusting the flow of information, right? Because what happened that day, believe you me, no one trusted the flow of information, and what happened to the personnel was just egregious. So. Again, we'll get into that another day, but it is dangerous when you can't trust the flow of information, right? And we've seen it here personally in Oregon, right, with like wildfires and health alerts and things like that. So you've got we live in wildfire zones. For those of you that don't know, out here in Oregon, specifically Southern Oregon,
burnt down hard these last 10 years over.
We could be put on 30-minute evacuation at any given moment.
Yeah,
right?
it's
because
scary. It's
And
scary.
it's scary,
It
right,
is.
man?
Our roads, we're like, some of us are like 20 miles out on two-way roads.
Yeah,
you know?
right. And so you could imagine if,
Surrounded by trees.
3,000
right?
people who live in the neighborhood tried to leave at the same time on a 2-lane road. That's just not great information. So when an alert
If an
happens
accident
like that,
happens, now everybody's
that's
in
literally
risk
what you're going to
behind
run
it.
into, right? Is that exact scenario? It's like just a bottleneck. So not trusting the flow of information is exactly why we're talking
Or,
about
for
the
example,
Pentagon
I just
lockdown.
went up to Portland this last week.
Yeah.
And I actually went and walked around.
So how's the war zone doing?
Actually, I went and checked it out during the daytime. Before I went to my concert, just out of curiosity,
Right.
because I have friends that live in the area, and I went up and hung out with them. It was a really good time. But honestly, I didn't see nothing.
Nothing.
I seen nothing. It was really dumping rain.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was super duper windy
Right.
the day I was up there.
So, if you don't know about the Freedom Frog, I'm sure you do already.
I drove. And
he wasn't even there because it's a dead scene now.
It really is. And honestly, that's, media at its finest. You know what I mean? Like, because it's laughable.
So
to
you
us.
can't trust the information, right? That's why you have to decide for yourself. Open up that third eye, get decisions made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so are we done talking about the Pentagon lockdown? Right. So once we get more information on what news sources, whatever, because they haven't really released a lot, but they will soon. Anyway, we'll get you more information on that. We're gonna jump into the conspiracy corner, right? Yeah, buddy, conspiracy corner time. All right, so check it out. And in regards to the lockdown, this is the kind of conspiracy that we're getting into, not just facts, conversation, right? So, disclaimer: tinfoil optional, curiosity required. Okay.
This is a matter of opinions.
So some theories say that the Pentagon's prepping to manage AI-generated information, tightening control before tech gets out of hand. Right, so let's just say that I subscribe to ChatGPT. I have an AI assistant, right, that helps me with a few things here and there. He never does things for me. His name is G, and we have conversations all the time.
Yep.
I wouldn't say he's a good friend of mine,
It's a tool.
but it's a tool, right?
Great
And we
tool.
use it in a
Great
manner
tool
that
to
is
use.
appropriate, etc. Right? Not for creation, but for assistance.
Awesome tool.
Awesome.
They really are. I named mine Coop.
Mine's name is G.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool. Yeah, and
What about
honestly,
G?
it just makes it makes it a little more comfortable when you're using the live chat. Things go a little smoother, I feel like.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
keeps it, when you're in conversation, just like if you're conversating with somebody, when you initially start with ChatGPT, you just kind of openly talk to it, and sometimes it has a misconception of where you start and stop, so giving it a name really dignifies that.
It grounds it, I think.
It does,
Yeah.
and it does, as much as it's horrible to say to some people, I personally don't give a shit.
Right.
But humanizing it a little bit, so it's easier to talk to and to understand you, because it's constantly learning.
It is constantly learning.
Constantly
That's right.
learning. So
That's right, and that's why the conspiracy exists, that they're going to start using AI to control that flow of information to give you whatever you want, and you're going to believe it because it's everywhere
good.
all of a sudden, right?
It's insane. You gotta remember, they're only giving us they're giving us old news to use. As far as this tool goes, they're giving us old news. I mean, you can only imagine what the government's got. I mean, for using AI stuff, I mean, there's probably a level of it that's been consumed before we could ever even see the light of day of it.
And we'll get into a whole episode on AI too, because I've actually asked how to preserve it after the fall of society, things like that, and it's given me answers, full instructions, all that stuff. But we'll get to that episode, not on this one. But back to the topic at hand. So yeah, absolutely. Misinformation is like classic distraction, right? So you tighten the belt on media, and when something big's about to drop, budgets, war, whatever, boom, AI misinformation, right? It's like, I think there was just a skit by The Whitest Boys or some shit like that.
Whitest Kids You Know?
Whitest Kids You Know, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I loved them.
So they were doing one, and they were like in the White House press conference talking about this, that, the other thing, and the speaker was giving reference to aliens, the moon base, la da da da. And so at the end of it, the guy's like, "Oh, so we're bombing Iran today?" And he's like, "Oh, you got me,
Yeah,
so it was like, so that's exactly what we're talking about right here, right? Like AI misinformation, all that stuff.
That's my
Conspiracies
topic.
surrounding the
I wanna get
Pentagon
into.
lockdown.
Aliens.
Yeah.
UAPs, baby.
All that shit, yeah. Yeah, and so the other option, conspiracy is maybe they're testing public compliance, maybe it's just another big old test, right? See how much silence we will tolerate before we start asking louder questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, not that there wasn't, just a shooting at Area 51 a few weeks ago, right? With zero information.
With zero information on it, yeah, which is strange, you know? Like, it always seems like there's something else bigger going on or less important.
Always.
Somehow bigger.
But now with the Pentagon news lockdown, we get nothing.
We can't get nothing, yeah. Yeah, it's been really strange. We're getting, like, lagged. We're kind of getting, like, newspaper news, even though we're on a technological advance.
Oh yeah,
we're on that. We're back to snail mail. You know what I mean? As far as news goes, by the time these big companies get the information,
Oregon's a different breed. Oregon's a different breed. Yeah. We will not handle obedience like that, right? Like,
it's strange, man. People, just in this region in general,
we don't do quiet.
Yeah, it's definitely not quiet for sure. As much as we are in these hills.
We're the hold my beer while we build our own broadcast type. You know what I mean? Like, we will get over that mountain. We will get the reach.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Conspiracy Corner for the Ozone Podcast. I think now's like my favorite topic. We're going to do the CD cover roast.
Oh, the roast.
Right? So I'm going to pull this picture up.
Here, I actually got it on the TV for us already.
All right, sweet, you do? Awesome.
Yeah, I do. Check this out.
Oh my God. Get out of here. All right, so we'll put this up on the screen for you guys during the edit. But for now, we're looking at Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and Hot Dog Flavored
Which
Water.
is one of my favorite albums. You know.
Yeah, great album.
No hate to Limp Bizkit by any means. You guys are one of my favorite bands. But even when I seen this when I was young, it was a what the fuck moment.
It is always a big what the fuck moment, man. I can't even believe what's going on this cover. It's like, all right, as a smoker, you got smoke up in the sky, right? You got hot dogs. People sitting on hot dogs, which are strange, troll-looking creatures.
Like a bunch of dobbies from
fucking Harry Potter. Yeah, exactly. Right? And then you got the chocolate starfish being presented
with a butthole on it. It's a freaking butthole, I'm pretty sure, man.
And so obviously, right, maybe Fred used to take it. I don't know. But what's happening here is a little egregious, a little outrageous.
It's just such a different vibe from the past album covers.
Right?
You know, we did have like this weird kind of graffiti-esque streetwalker,
right? Kind of like vibe, street hip hop meets rock vibe, right? Whereas this one just took a huge turn.
And like I get like they fall in the new metal genre and category.
I guess they do.
But I mean, fuck, Korn just needed.
Well, it kind of almost looks like a Korn ripoff, right?
It does. It gives Korn didn't need much other than their name to be real. If you slapped a Korn logo on it.
Didn't matter what was behind it.
Yeah, it didn't matter what was behind it. But this is like, I mean, even the name. Look, I mean, this shit looks like it was used in like Photoshop elements, which probably was. Honestly,
might have been.
This might have been Photoshop elements, but I mean, like, this looks like something I'd make in fucking high school.
Oh, it looks like.
I think it's what's so disappointing
we wouldn't have
about
made
it
in high school because we would have gotten a failing fucking grade on it.
Oh my god. And again, not to dog the album. I think what's the most disappointing about this is that the album is so good.
You're an amazing artist. The whole band, amazing musicians, right? You wrote some great songs, number ones, Billboard toppers.
Even Golden Cobra had a cooler album cover than this. And
right.
Not a lot of people's favorite, but I actually like that album a lot too. Good comeback for them. But there's this, again, it came back, they had that more traditional, that hip-hop graffiti rock style. Even with like the Golden Cobra album, it's a little different looking, but it's still kind of fit in its categories of how counterfeit was.
So that's our review / roast of Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Obviously, give it a listen, check it out for yourself. Put all the comments in the comments with what you think about the album cover. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We do not have a Patreon yet. But once we start getting a little more popular, we will get one going and you can subscribe. And you'll get those commercial free, all that good stuff, etc., etc. Ozone Podcast, baby. Keeping it moving. Oregon Voices, real talk, culture, chaos, community.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you want us to talk about. If you're a local band, if you guys have some album covers that you think you disagree with, that you have a really popular artist and maybe you're disappointed in their album cover, or maybe you just don't understand what the fitting is there, send it in to us. We'll roast it with you. And then again, we're all about community here. If you're around Southern Oregon or in Oregon in general, tell us what you got going on. Tell us what you disagree with. Tell us what you like. We're not really asking for much from y'all, but do like, comment, subscribe, and...
So next episode, we're going to get into some of Oregon's strangest news. We're going to get into maybe a little bit of that AI and stuff.